Hey guys, and welcome back to Esther, ST. I hope that you are doing very well and also enjoying your second quarter of 2024. I want to take this opportunity to thank you to my recent followers who has followed me on Instagram, which is Esther, ST. I also put a poll on what you would like to see for my next skincare routine. And out of the 4 options, the majority of you voted that I should do an updated makeup tutorial. So for that reason, I'm going to honor your request. And this is a very minimal day-to-day makeup tutorial. Just to give you a heads up, I won't be putting on any eyelashes today because that does take time, and I just want it to be very simple and concise for those who may be in the beginning stages of doing makeup. To add on this, I will also be linking all the products that I've used in the description bar below. So if I can't get the items to focus on my camera, please don't worry. All of the information will be listed below. So without further ado, let us begin. So I'm starting off with the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. And I have to say that this primer is really good. It's very matte and very suitable for those who have oily combination skin. So I'm just using my finger to just gently dab it all in. And I don't necessarily use any eye primer simply because my eyelids are quite sensitive. So I'm very mindful of how much I put around that area. But this e.l.f. primer is more than enough for my eyelids and my face together. My next item is the Got2b Edge Gel Control for your eyebrows. It's really good. I was quite skeptical of it because I thought it was going to be quite tight on my eyebrows, but it's very good for a strong hold for your eyebrows to stay in place for the whole day. And I don't use too much at all. The next item is the e.l.f. Poreless Primer. I really have enjoyed using this. I've been using this for quite some time, coming up to probably 2 or 3 years. It's quite a thick concealer, but it covers up a lot of the dark areas for your eyes. If you've got blackheads, it's really good for covering that up as well. And I also don't use too much for this as well. It's more or less a foundation, and all you need is a powder to complete it. But even this is more than enough. So I'm shortly going to be using a blending sponge to just blend in the rest of the concealer around my face, under my chin, which is very essential. I think there are times where we tend to forget that the chin and underneath is very important. So we need to blend it very well and ensure that every area is covered to make sure that it matches our necks. Next up, I'm using the Estee Lauder foundation. I have been using this foundation for years and I don't think I'm going to change anytime soon. And this is also the brush that I'll be using to apply the foundation. It's a very amazing foundation with SPF 30, very light, doesn't have any fragrance, which is great for my skin. And I'm also using it again to cover up some of the areas around my eyes. And then shortly I'll be using the blending sponge to blend it all in. Moving on, I'm now using the same brush that I used for the eyes to also apply it to everywhere else on my face. And as you can see, I'm not using too much foundation as I really want this to be a natural look. And I'll shortly be using my blending sponge to blend everything in effectively. As you can see, you really don't need too much foundation or concealer at all. It really does depend on how you are looking after your natural skin. That matters and really brings out the natural glow for your face. So don't feel the need to put too much foundation or concealer on. You can either use both or you can use one or the other. But for the purpose of this video, I wanted to use both. So I'm now using the same brush to use to clean up my lips area, just to ensure that everything is neat. And this is really effective prior to you using any form of lip liner or lip gloss or lipstick as well. Next up, I'm using my Studio Fix powder from MAC. I've been using this powder since sixth form and it has done my skin really good. So I'm also using the Real Techniques powder brush just to go through it gently and just lightly tapping every area on my face, including my eyelids, and also gently going down towards my cheeks and my nose, and also ensuring that every area of my skin is covered effectively. But this is a really good powder and you don't need too much as well. It's very good for full coverage. So the next item that I'll be using is a slanted brush and a spoolie, which comes in different sizes, but for this one I'm using it in the medium. And I'm also using it to just comb out my brows to ensure that they are ready and set for when I use my eyebrow pencil to draw them on, which I'm shortly going to show you. I'm using the Rimmel eyebrow pencil in black brown, and it is a very beautiful, stunning color. I believe at the one time I used to use burgundy, which was dark, but it really didn't suit my skin, so I just reverted back to this color, which is very natural and blends in very well with my skin and also my eyebrows themselves. But so far it's a really good eyebrow pencil. I used to use a gel pot, but I do prefer the eyebrow pencil as it's much more lighter on the brows. I'm now using the same e.l.f. concealer to apply for underneath and over my eyebrows, and I'm using a very faint, thin brush to go over them carefully. Now this part you need pure concentration, and you need to ensure that you are observing where you want your concealer to go. Some people prefer really arched eyebrows, other people prefer straight eyebrows, but I do prefer the arch, so I'm being very attentive in looking at the mirror to ensure that they are drawn on very well. So I'm now just blending out everything from my eyebrows with the blending sponge, just to ensure that everything is blended in effectively well, and to make sure that my eyebrows is in the shape that I desire it to be, which is the arch. And so far, so good. I'm now using one of the other Real Technique brushes just to go over the eyebrows with a bit of powder, just to ensure that it's all neat and ready and set for the eyeshadow that I'll be using shortly as well. But it's really good to get those natural eyebrows, especially near the tip where the tear ducts are in the eyebrows, because you don't want that part to be sharp at all. Next item on my list is the banana powder. When I say I have not used this in ages, wow. But to be honest, using it now has made me realize that it blends in really well and quite quickly. Before, I would use it and I would have to wait for about a minute or two to ensure that everything would set very well. But this banana powder has set very well, and I've had it for a very long time. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just showing you just to see how you can utilize it effectively. It's also really good for coverage and just ensuring that you've got that natural look. And if, at the same time, it's also used to brighten up your eyes, which is really great. But I wouldn't recommend using too much. And I'll shortly be showing you how I apply it on my smile lines. So as you can see with the smile line, it's very important for those who get creases from smiling or laughing. It's very important that you cover up that part in the makeup application to ensure that when photos are done, you won't see any creases. But overall, the banana powder is really good for setting your makeup and making it look matte. So I'm using the same Real Techniques powder brush just to blend in the banana powder to ensure that it has settled very well. Now for the fun part. I'm using the Patricia Bright Revolution eyeshadow palette, which I'm very excited for, and the colours are absolutely stunning. It's very summer/autumnal, but for the purpose of today's video, I'll be using a natural burgundy Glam colour. And I'll also be blending it in with a few other colours which you'll be watching shortly. So the next item is using a very electric turquoise green for the inner parts of my eyes, also known as the tear ducts. This is one of my favorite applications when it comes to eyeshadow. It really brings out the beauty of my eyes. And to be honest, anyone can rock this style. Whether you want to use blue, if you want to use white, if you want to use gold, it's all down to you. But this is a really beautiful application when applying your eyeshadow. The next item is the Fast Stroke eyeliner from Boots. It's a very inexpensive eyeliner, which I really enjoy, but you need pure concentration when applying any type of eyeliner. As you can see, I'm purely focused on applying it just to ensure that it is neat and not too thick, but also not too thin at the same time. Definitely worth the patience. Next, I'm using the Max Factor X 2000 Calorie Volume Mascara. Really great, and I'm using the color black. I'm now using the e.l.f. blush palette. It comes in 4 dark red colours and I'm really loving the way it looks on my skin. And I'm just gently applying the blush because it's a very rich colour, so you don't need too much for it at all. Next up, I'm using the Sleek liquid based highlighter. I remember taking the time to do some research because there was a poll on whether people should use pigmented or powdered highlighter or a liquid highlighter. And so far, this liquid has done really good. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a liquid. It's still a bit of a solid, but it has a liquid element into it. And it's more of a shimmery highlighter. I'm using one of my small brushes to just dab under my chin. And I'm also going to move on to my forehead, which I put a little bit there just for some shine. Just to ensure that it's all in alignment and in the center. And then I'm also using it for my cheekbones as well. So when I smile, you'll be able to see the highlighter pop more. I'm really loving the Sleek highlighter. It's very effective. And it's quite similar to MAC Gold Deposit. But in all honesty, they both more or less are like the same thing. So I'm now going to use the Real Techniques brush to go over the liquid highlighter so that it will blend in very well with the rest of the makeup. I'm focusing mainly on the bottom of the chin and also the forehead and shortly my cheekbones as well to ensure that it blends in exceedingly well. So I'm now using the same Sleek highlighter to just highlight the top of my lips for effectiveness when I apply my lip liner. It's really lovely having a gold shimmer just at the top of the lips. So I'm now using my fan brush to go over the highlights for my chin, my cheeks and also my forehead, just to ensure that the gold pops much more. And having this brush has really helped a lot to set it naturally, because I know with a brush it might be quite harsh, so you just need a fan brush to make it very subtle and neat. I almost forgot underneath my eyebrows for the arch, just to give it a bit of definition and shine. It's really good for those who do remember to ensure that you place the highlighter underneath your eyebrows for an effective look. Next up, I'm using the NYX Professional Suede Matte Lip Liner in the colour Club Hopper. It's a very rich, dark burgundy colour, more or less like a burgundy brown. And I'm using just a bit on the bottom and eventually on the top of my lips, just to give the lips more definition. This is one of my favourite parts of doing makeup. And then also just patting the lips gently for about 20 to 30 seconds. and ensuring that it blends in very well. I'm just patting it a bit more. Making sure it's creamy and neat. And then I'll also be using my Revolution lipstick. This was a gift, so I actually don't know the colour, but I know it's more like a pinky rose. And it is amazing. It's a combination of a matte and a silky finish, but it glides in so well on the lips. And it blends in very well with the lip liner as well. We're nearly done. I do like to go over my face again with the MAC Studio Fix powder, just to ensure that everything is blended in very well, particularly underneath my chin and my cheeks and forehead, just to make sure that I am as matte as possible. Considering that I'm a combination oily / normal, it's really good to ensure that your skin is always matte before leaving the house. So I'm now going to finish off with using the NYX Matte Finish Spray, and I'm also going to see if I can combine it with the Milk Spray. In all honesty, I don't really like this Milk Spray as it came out really oily on my skin and it doesn't really give the matte finish. But the NYX is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it has finished, so I do need to top up and get some more. So I'm just using the last part of the spray for my skin to finish off the makeup. And I'm also going to use a bit of the Milk Spray shortly afterwards. But if I'm honest with you, NYX wins my heart. So with this Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray, you really need to ensure that you shake it first before you use it, as it has a white residue inside it before spraying it on your face. But when I used it, over 3 hours, my skin went so oily that I had nothing to blend it in with. So I wouldn't recommend this spray if you've got oily skin. I just couldn't understand how the Milk Hydro Spray was so oily that I had to take my time to read the ingredients and what it entails. But it does say it's alcohol free, so I was thinking that it would be quite matte, but this definitely is not for me. Due to the texture of the Milk Spray, I had to use my hands as a fan to make sure that it settled into my skin very well. But with the NYX spray, I don't have to do this, which is a bonus. And there you have it, my makeup done. This took less than 45 minutes and I'm really loving the look. Do let me know your thoughts. This look can also be for date nights, weddings, special occasions, just making yourself feel good, looking glam, especially now that we're going into the summer. We want to ensure that our skin is doing exceedingly well. I'm being very intentional about looking after my skin and using the right products for my face as well. As mentioned, I'll be linking all the information and all the products used in the description bar below so that you can check them out and do your research in your own time. So I'm just going to do the finishing touch, just one more, which is to blend in my eyebrows to ensure that it is faded and neat and not too sharp. But so far so good. I'm really happy with the outcome. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and if there's any other makeup tutorial that you would like to see, it will be great to know and I'll be happy to do it for you. Many thanks for watching this video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next upcoming video. Take care guys and have a great day. Bye bye.